I'll begin with a little story. Well, actually, I have several stories, but it all started at age 17. My family decided to move from Lebanon to America. And 2 years after, I found myself wanting to get a job so that I can make some cash and pay for college and with my expenses. So I go out one day, I come back home, I tell my father, Dad, I'm going to become, I got a job as a marketing executive with an international marketing company. My dad goes, okay son, what are you going to be selling? I said, knives. Kitchen knives. That's what I sold. Some of my friends would make fun of me this summer and say, oh, you look sharp today. So from my humble beginning, I quickly realized I wasn't a good salesperson. Actually, I was bad. So I had this one friend who looked, she was effortlessly making all these wonderful sales. So I asked Melissa, I said, Melissa, could you tell me your secret? She goes, Ramez, of course, Ramez, I can tell you my secret. I said, anything, and I had the pen and paper ready to go. So Melissa goes, Ramez, number one is you gotta read the books on sales. I was like, what? There are books on sales? I didn't like reading. I said, okay, what's number two? Ramez, you gotta listen to audio programs in your car. It's like, I'm 19 this, I listen to good music in my car. Okay, what's number three? She goes, Ramez, you gotta invest in yourself and you gotta go to the summer conference coming up next week. I was like, Melissa, I asked you how I can sell more, not spend more. She goes, well, Ramez, there's this guy, this very intelligent guy called Benjamin Franklin, and once he said, if you take the coins you got in your pocket, and you invest the coins you got in your pocket in your mind will fill your pocket with gold. And then that made me go talk to my father. I said, Dad, did you lend me some money? He goes, what for? Don't you have a job? and thank God, he did lend me some money. So I made this whole trip to the bookstore. And I looked into the section on sales. And I needed to grab this one book. And then there was a voice inside of me that said, oh no, because it was about 1.5 inches thick. And I didn't feel like reading that. But I picked it up and I saw many topics on selling. One of them I was very much struggling with. I used to make phone calls to get appointments with people so I can go and present what I had to sell. Anybody here makes phone calls or uses the phone to get appointments and potentially meet clients in the future? Raise your hand. Anybody does that? 4, okay. Some people remember if they use the phone, okay. So here's why the phone was interesting for me. You see, when I call people, they'll ask me, where are you from? I was like, I'm from Beirut, Lebanon. They're like, what are you selling? I'm like, knives. You think about one, did it? Yeah, think about one and the other. That was really, giving me a hard time to make things happen. But sincerely, that one book started with the process of changing my life forever. Because I realized that selling, I was a shy person, introvert, I like to listen. And thank God that those were some of the basic concepts that were needed for me to be able to become successful. So selling in turbulent times. When you see these masters in ice skating or masters in sports or any sort of activities, do you say these people are lucky? No, how many hours of practice they actually went through. When people actually are succeeding, you see, when you don't get the sale, guess who got the sale? Your competitor. So then we blame luck. You say, oh, well, they got lucky. We couldn't make that sale because we're not as lucky as they are. So, when it comes for taking responsibility for, selling a turbulent time is just simply taking more responsibility to understanding what are the market conditions, what does the market needs right now, and how can we help the market get that with our products or services. I'll give you a story. I love these. Have you ever gotten a phone call from someone trying to sell him something? What do we call these people?
Annoying.
I like that. Annoying people. So I got this lady give me a call once, and she goes, "Hi sir, this is so and so. I'm calling you from the hotel that's what's the name of the hotel that's right before Fairmont? One hotel that opened up on the right-hand side of the Monarch Hotel. So I'm calling you from the Monarch, and we're offering the VIP. We're calling VIP customers. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?" I'm like, "I'm VIP, cool. Ask me a few questions." So she starts. She goes, I've been to events and conferences, and I know you have a very nice open buffet down, and I'm sure you have other restaurants. She goes, yes, wonderful, you know, our hotel. I'm like, cool, we're having a conversation now. And then she goes into play mode. So then she goes, well, great, let me tell you about our offer. And basically, we have an offer, this VIP card, where you can actually get 50% off meals. If you and your friend go and have dinner or lunch, whatever, you get 50% off meal, 25% off drinks, and you can do blah, 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 and all that, you can get all that for 800 dirhams. So where should I send you the card? Have you had that goal? And I was like, did you finish? She goes, yeah. It's like, well, today is your lucky day. She thought I was going to buy. I told her, well, I'm a sales trainer, and I'm going to give you a few tips on how to say. Nope. She was like, okay. So I said, look, you started well. I said, do you want to improve your sales? She goes, well, yes. And well, probably with the way you're doing your approach, you're selling probably less than 2 times out of 100 phone calls. Am I right? She said, yes, sir. It's actually less. Alright? So I was like, having attention. She goes, oh yeah, well, you started very good. But if you would have asked a few more questions and maybe feel the need. So, for example, you know, you started very well. I told you, I actually come here a couple of times a month with my wife. If you would have said, great, and how much you spend on an average at dinners. And you know, a good meal is at least a couple of hundred dirhams, so you know, it's 200 to 300 dirhams a person, so it's about 500-600 dirhams, you know, per pair. She goes and said, if you would have been to say, great, fantastic, and do you do any type of business entertainment? Do you like to eat out? And I would have said, yes. And you can ask, how many times you do that on a monthly basis? And I would have said, probably about 2 to 3 times with guests again, with business meetings and consultations. And you can ask how much you spend there. And I would have said, again, 2 to 300 dirhams per person. And then you can just bring everything together and say, sir, so if I understand you correctly, you know, between your personal and your business, you're eating about, you know, 5 to 6 times a month out, which is approximately 500 to 600 dirhams a pop, which translates to about 2 to 3,000 dirhams a month. Is this correct? And what will be my answer? Yes. And then you can just simply multiply that by 12 and research. So on a yearly basis, you're investing anywhere between 24,000 dirhams to 36,000 dirhams on eating out. Am I understanding it correctly? And then I would have to say yes. And then you simply ask me, sir, if I can, if I can save you 12 to 15,000 dirhams, what would that money allow you to do to your business that you're not able to do right now? Now I've told you possibly maybe invest in a new computer system, or maybe get that upgraded CRM system that I'm looking for, or whatever. And then you say, great, sir, well, we can get you started as soon as you want, so that you can start taking advantage of all the things that you'd like to do. And all what it will take is just a one-time investment of 800 dirhams. Do you think that would work? I had a call from the same lady a month later. Actually, she sent me a text message. She goes, sir, I don't know if you remember me, but you gave me that lesson. Last month I was the #1 sales lady in my office.